Hi, this is Little Dwarf playing games while rambling incoherently into a microphone. Why? Well, just because I can, and I continue with BioShock 1 Remastered. I'm still here in the Wharf Master's office, so let's keep exploring. The path forward is pretty clear. It is through here. Okay. I have no business with the gene bank for now. More contraband from the smugglers. I think there might be a camera, judging from the sound. Interrogation room. Session in progress while the light is on.
Jesus loves me, this I know, for the Bible tells me so. Little ones to him belong. They are weak, but he is strong.
Yeah, so
Well.
it is one of the pretty great opportunities to listen to the idle...
His light shineth even down here in the murk. You'll open up if you love. Good for you.
to listen to the idle chatter of the enemies, because this guy doesn't see me, presumably because this is a Phoenician glass, so it's only see-through from this side. No. As befits an interrogation room, because obviously you would want the chief of security.
I'm worried for you, Father. It's what you like.
You would want
Come on, then.
the chief of security to be able to see inside, but the inmate to not be able to see whoever is watching him.
I traded you, oh Lord, for mammon. And what did it get me, huh?
Yeah, so as you can see from the dialogue, or rather as you can hear from the dialogue, because if you could if you could see anything from the dialogue, you'd probably be pretty weird.
Jesus loves me, this I know, for the Bible.
Yeah, but as you can hear from the dialogue, this particular type of Splicer is deeply religious,
We were wrong.
and he has a lot of quotes talking about God, and especially some of them. For example, right now he said, "We thought we could hide from the light down here. We were wrong." So he seems to think that what's happening to Rapture...
All his commandments. I observe all his commandments. I observe all his commandments. I observe all his commandments.
He seems to think that what's happening to Rapture is a sign of divine punishment. You know, it's a
Father, why have you forsaken me?
it's a sign of God being displeased from people turning away from the worship of Him. I will put links in the description to the entirety of the...
Sorry, Father. I'll do what you say. I'll do what you'll open up if you
to the entirety of the enemy voice lines, because it's often difficult to listen to them in-game. There's a lot of things that interrupt you while trying to do that, and there's no subtitles anyway, so it's sometimes the voices are drowned out by the sound of the environment and the fighting and all that. But it's very much worth a listen. I'll put a link to all of the enemy voices, you know, the different types of splicers, because it's very much worth a listen in a more calm environment of sorts. This is Sullivan's desk, who was the chief of security for Rapture, and he has like a murder board right here investigating some splicers connected to Fontaine fisheries. You have Tranmel, Cole, Mitch, and the symbol of the hand, which is the symbol for the smugglers. Can I read anything from this? The Daily Post? Not quite. It is a... it is a newspaper from the surface, but unfortunately I can't read any of the actual headlines. And this is the camera. Take pictures of enemies with the camera to research them. Each type of enemy has a unique set of research bonuses. Try taking a picture of the Splicer on the other side of the window, keeping the subject centered and nearby.
Good, you got the camera. Now get me some snaps on those spider splicers. And don't come back down here till you got my research.
The research is a bit wonky in execution because you have to switch to a different weapon to do that, because the camera for technical purposes counts as a weapon, but it's very much worth it to research the enemies because it gives you a lot of advantages over time. For example, right now I've got a Spider Splicer research bonus, which is increased damage. Spider Splicers are vulnerable to anti-personnel rounds. If you photograph the same subject twice, you get a little bit of progress, but as you can see, there's a penalty, so I'm not going to do it too much. Instead, for now, I will continue.
You can run, but we'll find you.
Yeah, bonus damage against leadhead splicers. Subject already photographed, so a penalty for that. You can buy more film rather cheaply, so I am not going to hoard that. Instead, I will try to get the research done as quickly as possible, because as I said, it is rather beneficial. There's a bonus for multiple subjects in this photo, which one of them is a security camera. I get increased damage against those as well. Security bullseye. Are those pesky security cameras getting you down? Simply tag your enemies with our photoelectric insects, and those cameras and turrets become your best friend. Splice security bullseye today. Do I want it? Not yet, I guess. Because I can always hack those, which is a bit more of a hassle maybe, but you know, doesn't require a dedicated... I will not hack this, I will just destroy it. It doesn't require a dedicated plasmid spot to hack, you know, a turret or something. Yeah, this is the other side of this, which I was here. Oh, I missed an Eve hypo. But seemingly I can't go back from here. Okay. Oh, but I do want to photograph a Big Daddy if I can. Yeah, increased damage. Score too low. Presumably he's too far away. Okay. There's an audio diary here. And an El Amo Bandito machine right here, which I will hack. So it seems, you know, rather beneficial to buy some special ammunition, maybe. Okay, I will buy this. because it's going to be very useful against the spider splicers. They are vulnerable to anti-personnel rounds. Adam Discovery.
This little sea slug has come along and glued together all the crazy ideas I've had since the war. It doesn't just heal damaged cells, it resurrects them. I can bend the double helix. Black can be reborn white, tall, short, weak, strong. But the slugs alone are not enough. I'll need money. And one other thing.
Yeah, that one other thing would be test subjects. The Fighting McDonagh's Tavern. Okay. Eden Leaking.
If things weren't bad enough, it seems that even our water system sprung a leak. Yep, that's right. Irrigation system in Arcadia is taking on seawater. I told Mr. Ryan when we were building this place, either you build her like a bathtub, or she's gonna turn into a sewer. No, McDonagh, he said. We're not gonna build no bathtub. We're gonna build Eden. You have the research camera? Good. Guess it's time to get to work for old Peachy. Take the man's pictures, and let's get the hell out of this place.
Can I destroy those? I can. Okay. It's actually easier to do that, to prevent the enemies from healing, and actually better, because it drops actual first aid kits. That's very good to know.
The smuggler is the friend of the parasite. It is your duty to report the smuggler.
Yeah, the smuggler is a friend of the parasite, as you could hear them say. Okay, I'm low on film, which is a bit problematic because I'm not sure if there's a vending station anywhere nearby. And there is, however, an audio diary. Fontaine Smugglers.
As the respectable labs have all turned me away, I have turned to Fontaine's smugglers in Port Neptune for supplies. Fontaine's men are pigs. They spit, they stink. But they deliver, and they don't ask questions. They're all terrified of Fontaine. He reminds me a bit of the Germans. So efficient. It wouldn't surprise me if he were soon running things down here.
Jet Postal. So that's the postal office. I need more film. It's another level of Flathead Splicer research. Physical tonic collected. Scrounger. Splicing Scrounger is like having a sixth sense. You will spot things you would otherwise miss and discover things you would otherwise leave behind. With Scrounger, you will swear you have X-ray vision. When searching containers or corpses, you can search them again to get different loot. Okay, I will exchange this for now. Because the Scrounger perk is rather useful. I think it only works for containers and not for... Wait, does it work? Seemingly it doesn't. A man creates, a parasite asks, where is my share? And I can buy more film. Right here, which I will.
Welcome to the circus of value.
Might as well stock up on it. It's not that expensive or anything. And you know, it's going to last me for a bit. I will listen to this after I defeat the Spider Splicer because it's annoying me with its idle dialogue. Although maybe annoying it's not the best term. I do enjoy it, as I said. The enemy dialogue in this game is actually pretty great, but it's distracting me. That may be a better term. Ah, it's R for searching again. Okay, interesting and kind of weird. But I guess I have to remember that.
We tricked you, monster. Are you afraid of me, monster? I hunt you, monster!
Yeah, those anti-personnel rounds are really effective. You can take photos of dead enemies, but you will earn fewer points.
I observe his commandment.
Oh, that's a nitro Splicer. Okay, increased damage.
What's this?
Okay, let's finish exploring the postal office. Okay. Okay, there's not much here, apparently. Get a hint if you're stuck. Well, I'm not actually stuck. I just want to explore everything. Some money. Okay, let's listen to that audio log. Death penalty in Rapture.
The death penalty in Rapture. Council's in an uproar. Riots in the streets, they say. But this is the time for leadership. Action must be taken against the smugglers. Any contact with the surface exposes Rapture to the very parasites we fled from. A few stretched necks or a small price to pay for our deals.
Well, a lot of people very vehemently disagreed, and I happen to disagree with the idea of capital punishment in practice, if not in principle, because I can entertain the idea of a capital punishment for some very heinous crimes as a thought experiment, but it is always destroyed by matters of practicality in my mind, because I find the potential of error to be far too grave, and the consequences to be far too final for capital punishment to be a good idea, because mistakes do happen, and they happen a lot. There have been a lot of studies about wrongful convictions, especially in the USA, that resulted in death penalty, and those people were later found innocent, when forensics have improved especially, but they were already dead. They have been executed. So it's a mistake that the state can't ever rectify, and that's the main reason I am against the death penalty, because I believe it's better to let 10 guilty people scot-free even, or give them a lighter sentence, than it is to wrongfully convict one innocent person. And obviously in case of the death penalty, it's irreversible.
We all move the great chain, and the great chain moves us all.
The Fighting McDonagh's Tavern. That's an interesting logo, mascot character for the tavern. Okay, I need to pause for a second, be right back. Okay, I'm back, so let's continue. I am a bit cavalier about the photographs, but that's because I have a crap ton of those.
Somebody's gotta keep order.
I have a crap ton of film, and it's very cheap, so.
Now, are you ever bringing old Peach them snappies, or are you just sightseeing?
Songs of passion. By Why Even Ask? And invite Senator.
So I don't see any point in actually, conserving it. Is there anything here? Not quite. However, there is some shotgun ammo right there, which is of not much use to me because because I currently have full shotgun ammo. Okay, let's continue exploring. Meeting Ryan.
I met Ryan the day me and the lads were installing the bathroom plumbing up in his Posh Park Avenue digs. Oi, says he, what's with all the brass fittings? General contractor had me down for the tip. Well, I says, I suppose it's the contractor then who'll be bailing out your loo once a fortnight, is it? If it's price you're worried about, I'll be picking up the brass, so not to worry, Squire. And why would you be doing that, says he? Well, Mr. Ryan, profit or not, no man bails water out of privies built by Bill McDonagh. Next day I finds out I'm Ryan's new general contractor.
That's actually rather heartwarming. The friendship between Bill McDonagh and Andrew Ryan, because Andrew Ryan is a wealthy entrepreneur, highly educated and all that, and Bill McDonagh is just an honest plumber, like with a very well developed business ethics, and as evident in that audio recording, it was that business ethic that sort of intrigued Ryan and that impressed Ryan enough to entrust being a general constructor on Rapture to this guy who prior to that was, you know, just fixing toilets and all that, general plumbing work.
The thought of me wife and child hiding in that filthy submarine makes me blood boil. Help me get them to safety and I'll be in your debt for life.
It's yet another level, isn't it? Increased damage once again. I have what's the word? Topped off on frag grenades. That's interesting. I guess I can't hold too many of those. Tap for Ryan Club Beer Ale. The Ryan Brewing Corporation, Rapture Colony. Tastiest beer in town. Okay. I can open this, which goes to the base floor. How about this? Although maybe I can pick up more grenades if I reload. Nope. Still can't. Okay, let's explore this. Rapture changing.
Rapture's changing, but Ryan can't see the wolves in the woods. This Fontaine fellow, he's a crook and a proper tea leaf, but he's got the atom, and that makes him the governor. Sinking the profits back into bigger and better plasmids, building them Fontaine poorhouses, like Fontaine recruiting centres. Before we know it, bloke's gonna have an army of splicers. We're going to have ourselves a whole heap of miseries.
Okay. There's no point in hacking that turret, because it's never going to shoot anyone but me. However, there might be a point in stunning it with electroshock.
The race mixers. I got my eye on all of them. Huh? I'm on to you.
Okay. Let's properly explore this. As evidenced by the handprint, it must have been a smuggler hideout at some point. Okay, let's hack this. Okay, that's a very decent yield. from that save. Let's save. I have not done that in quite a while. It would feel pretty stupid if I died. Okay, this is the front entrance, so this is where I was.
I had thought I had left the parasites of Masha behind. I had thought I had left the Marxist altruists to their collective farms and their 5-year plans. German fools threw themselves on Hitler's sword on the foot of the Reich. American strength deeper and deeper. Spoon-fed to them by Roosevelt.
Yeah, so that was a part of Andrew Ryan's speech on his origins, but I'm not sure how audible that was on the recording. It is a pity that that speech only runs in the background as an almost insignificant thing, because it's actually highly significant, because it tells you the whole story of Andrew Ryan's life. He was talking about how he left the Marxist altruists to their 5-year plans. He was talking about his what's the word? Immigration from Russia after the Russian Revolution into the United States, which is again pretty much a direct callback to Ayn Rand's life, because she was also a Russian immigrant to the United States. I will try to listen to all of that speech if I happen across it, but I will also link it in the description in its entirety, because it's difficult to catch it in-game, and it's difficult to hear it. It's a bit of a baffling design choice to me, because that's a very important speech. I'm not sure why isn't it made more prominent, but oh well. That's how they chose to do it, and I cannot do much to change it. There is another audio log right here, Smuggling ring.
I'm closing in on the whole ring. I'd pat myself on the back, but let's face it, these aren't exactly bloodthirsty desperados we're talking about. Rapture's full of poets, artists, and tennis players, not hired guerrillas. But this leader of theirs, this Fontaine, he seems to know his way around the grift. He keeps his nose clean, but not so clean that the right people don't know he's not to be trifled with.
Working late again.
Diane, my dear, I'm sorry, but I'll be late again tonight. Rosenberg is demanding to speak about this Fontaine business. I'm trying to build a proper financial market, and this idiot keeps going on about this, genetic modification, that. I'll go spend an hour pretending to pay attention to the poor fellow and be home as soon as I can.
Yeah, actually, Ryan's original name was Andrei Ryanovsky. While he was still living in Russia, he was born with that name, and then he changed it to Andrew Ryan upon emigrating to the United States. Okay, let's continue right here.
His light shineth even down here in the murk. I say, and you boils!
Apparently it costs $5 to use the toilet in Rapture, which is quite a steep price if you ask me. But you know, that's kind of the point, isn't it? Because because objectivists believe that any market price is by definition fair, because that's how the market works according to them. Like, if it wouldn't be a fair price, then it wouldn't be set like this, because obviously nobody would pay it if it was usually cheaper. So I guess it was just accepted that $5 is a reasonable charge to access the bathroom in Rapture.
This is the wages of sin.
Sounds like that should about do it. Head on back to Fontaine Fisheries when you're ready, would you kindly?
Okay, there's a spider splicer around here, which I should definitely... Oh.
Diane, my dear, I'm sorry, but I'll be late again tonight. Rosenberg is demanding to speak about this Fontaine business. I'm trying to build a proper financial market, and this idiot keeps going on about this, genetic modification, that. I'll go spend an hour pretending to pay attention to the poor fellow and be home as soon as I can.
I didn't want to listen to that again, but I just accidentally clicked the button. Let's get in here. So there's someone chained to the bed right here.
I know what you're up
And there's also an audio diary. Arresting Fontaine.
Mr. Ryan, I believe in Rapture, but that doesn't mean we always win. Fontaine Futuristics is the biggest thing going in Rapture. So let me be plain. When we arrest that toe rag Fontaine for his thieving and smuggling, we must make it clear that we won't touch his business interests. We sit on the council because these poor sods trust us, not because God gave us a chair.
Yeah, it's actually like Bill McDonagh is one of the most upstanding people in Rapture, as you will come to know him by listening to his audio diaries, which is again kind of touching, because he's a man from very humble beginnings, and he's just a regular, like he's not highly educated or anything. He's just an honest worker, and it just so happens that he embodies the ideal of an objectivist man to a much higher degree than Ryan himself when it comes to integrity and, you know, honesty. Although that makes me wonder, like, how exactly, because if they arrested Fontaine, you know, what exactly would happen to his business? You know, ordinarily, it's not like he could run it from prison, and as far as we know, as of yet, he didn't have any children or anyone who would inherit it. I guess what Bill McDonagh meant is that Fontaine wouldn't be held in prison indefinitely, although, again, that's kind of weird, because it has already been established that they've introduced the death penalty for smugglers, so you'd think they would try to charge Fontaine with that, and even then, if not, then they probably wouldn't want to keep him, wouldn't want to let him go, because, they painted him as that much of a threat to them that it would be rather weird to let him go. But if they wouldn't let him go, how does not touching his business even work? How would it be run? Like, but by his deputies, like by his lower rung management? I'm not sure. Oh well, there's a poster. All able-bodied and unmodified citizens of Rapture notice to report living in somewhere. Unfortunately, it's far too blurry to comfortably read, but it's some kind of a public announcement. I'm pretty sure there's a spider splicer somewhere around here, but before I do actually have the code for that. It was mentioned because it's the room 7 in the Fighting McDonagh's Inn. It was mentioned in one of the audio diaries. 7-5.
Masha, we don't know what has happened to you. Ryan's men have taken you away and said you are needed to save Rapture. Who needs a child to save a city? But I see these little girls crawling out of these vents, and I only wonder if you might one day crawl out of this vent and find this note. We look for you, but if you find this, come to us. It's a Fighting McDonagh's in room number 7. The code to our room is 7533. We miss you, our darling child.
Static discharge number 2. I will store it for now, but I will use it eventually. As you can see, those rewards pile up rather quickly if you are diligent about photographing your enemies. Yeah, and those are Masha's parents, overdosed on some pills. And now I am unceremoniously looting their corpses. Saw Masha today.
We saw our Masha today. We barely recognized her. That's her, Sam said. You're crazy, I told him. That thing? That is our Masha? But he was right. She was drawing blood out of a corpse by Fontaine fisheries. And then when she was done, she walked off hand in hand with one of those awful golems. Masha!
Yeah, so she was kidnapped to be turned into a little sister later on. Shorten alarms. What sound is more ominous than a yammering security alarm? With shortened alarms, spliced, your personal EM signature becomes altered to interact uniquely with alarm sensors, shortening the period until you will be free and clear. I will keep it in the bank for now. And I will also end this episode here because it has been long enough. So that's all for this one, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!